I'm Kim Wynn in Greensboro, where after 23 years, the family is finally at peace after finding their daughter's killer. How they're remembering her life and the pain caused by her loss.
From bursting pipes to no heat at all. On Fox 8's Jasmine Spencer, coming up, how freezing temperatures overnight are affecting several Guilford County schools.
After waiting more than 23 years for justice, Shalonda Poole's family is closer to getting closure. Early this morning, Donald Ferguson here made his first appearance before a judge after being arrested in the 7-year-old's death back in 1990. Ferguson is now facing first-degree murder and sex offense charges. And today, Fox 8's Kim Wynn joined the family for a very special ceremony in Shalonda's honor.
But first, we start with the latest in Ferguson's case, the investigation from Fox 8's Carter Coyle. She joins us live from the Greensboro Police Department. Carter, first of all, where is Ferguson now? Still in South Carolina?
Yes, the latest information we have is that he is still in Spartanburg in the hands of local authorities there. We understand that Detective Henson, who reopened this case here with the Criminal Investigations Unit in Greensboro back in 2007, was a detective there in Spartanburg today interviewing Mr. Ferguson. Ferguson also appeared for the first time in this case before a judge this morning.
What's the steps?
Around 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, a Spartanburg County judge denied bond for Donald Preston Ferguson, accused of murdering 7-year-old Shalonda Poole in Greensboro 23 years ago.
Been charged with an arrest warrant there on a murder charge.
The next step is for Greensboro police to transport Ferguson back to North Carolina.
You signed a waiver for the North Carolina, which means that you're going to allow them to come and extradite you and take you back to North Carolina.
It's not Ferguson's first time behind bars. He left the Greensboro area in August of 1990, and that same year, he was convicted of sexual assault in Spartanburg and served 7 years in prison. Last March, Ferguson started probation time for charges related to robbing a bank. His arrest caught the attention of the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina, where cold case detectives are now checking to see if Ferguson could be connected to an unsolved missing child case 45 minutes from his South Carolina home. 9-year-old Aisha Degree disappeared on Valentine's Day in 2000 and was never seen again. Greensboro Police Captain Mike Ritchie says this is why they never give up on murder cases, even decades after they seem hopeless.
They really took it to heart. The excitement's been building about making this case. We were able to get the papers and then make the arrest. Obviously, the entire unit is excited and should be commended for the work they've done.
Captain Ritchie said back in the 90s they interviewed hundreds of people in connection with this case. Donald Ferguson's name was on that long list, so when they reopened the case, forensic evidence ultimately pointed them back to him, and that's how they made this arrest. Live in Greensboro tonight, Carter Coyle, Fox 8 News.
Thank you, Carter. And today, Shalonda's friends and family gathered in Greensboro for a special prayer and balloon release. They say Ferguson's arrest has brought them some peace, but they could never erase the pain caused by Shalonda's murder. Fox 8's Kim Wynn is live in Greensboro tonight from the place where the family gathered today. And Kim, I know you spoke with Shalonda's twin. How is she doing?
Well, Shalonda's sister and other family members say the pain is still very real. They gathered here earlier today, thankful that the accused murderer has finally been caught, but reminded of the hole left in their family since Shalonda's death. Yay! One by one, 23 balloons floated over Warnersville Park in Greensboro.
My heart has been so heavy with this for 23 years.
Each balloon for every year since 7-year-old Shalonda Poole was found murdered here.
God has always stood by my...
And with each year, her twin sister, Shonda Poole,
It's her. It's me.
asked herself the same question.
I just want to know why. I mean, a 7-year-old?
A question she may never know the answer to, but feels a lot closer now that police have arrested Donald Ferguson, the man they believe murdered Shalonda in 1990.
I feel eased. I feel so eased.
A peace she hasn't felt since she was a little girl, and even at age 32, has struggled to find each time she looks in the mirror.
Because every time I look at me, I look at her.
an image that's haunted her since the day her sister disappeared.
And the whole time I was going crazy. I was just forcing myself to die. Like I was trying to kill myself the whole time.
A day she partially blames on herself.
That day when I got up, like it was just, she was gone. I wish I could have did more.
Shonda says she's been in therapy since the disappearance and now draws strength from her own set of twins. Two 18-month-olds she plans on sharing the last few memories of her sister.
They had a best aunt that looked just like me. But she gone, she never coming back.
Now Shonda says she'll feel closure at Ferguson's trial, where she'll be able to look at him face to face. In Greensboro, Kim Wynn, Fox 8 News.
Kim, thank you. A Piedmont woman's now facing charges in a deadly fire that killed her two sons last summer. Sherry Hurley Saunders is charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. This stems from a fire at her home in Asheboro in July, where her 3- and 5-year-old sons were killed. And this is video from earlier today when she was taken to the Randolph County Sheriff's Office. Investigators say the children were locked in their bedroom when the fire broke out. Hurley and her boyfriend made it out okay, but the children were left behind. If investigators know why the kids were locked in their bedroom, they aren't saying. Today we talked to the boy's grandmother, who told us she misses those children every day.
In Winston-Salem, 19 students are recovering after a school bus crash. Police say it all happened this morning when a driver failed to yield to the bus at the corner of Murray Road and Beck's Church Road. 49 children were on that bus at the time, but only 19 had to go to the hospital to be treated for some minor injuries. While the injuries were just bumps and bruises, parents told us that they were really worried.
I cried just because I was thinking the worst, and I'm just like, stay calm, because I don't know if it really is that serious. But it still made me pretty emotional.
Now, police say the driver responsible for that crash was given a traffic ticket.
Happening right now in Guilford County, these frigid winter conditions causing big-time problems for schools across the district. Temperatures may be getting a little warmer, but there is a list of maintenance problems because of the single-digit cold night before last, including no heat for some parts of the schools. Fox 8's Jasmine Spencer's been looking into this today. She joins us live in Greensboro. One of the schools having issues with the heat. Not a great time to have no heat, Jasmine.
Not at all, and certainly the sign out here at the Academy at Lincoln describes it best. If you can't read it at home, it says "burr." That not only describes what we feel outside, but some of the hallways and the cafeteria that has not had heat since school started back. And those requests, among dozens of others, is putting the maintenance department into overtime.
Normally that water would be circulating through that coal.
But instead, the water is running onto the floor inside the boiler room of McLeansville Elementary School.
What's happening now, as the temperatures do start to rise now, the water starts to move through those coals that was frozen before, and it's seeking any holes that were caused by the freezing.
Maintenance Director Gerald Greason says 10 other schools in the county are having the same problems from frozen corals.
A lot of the schools in Guilford County are old, and a lot of their pipes are old. So, no, I don't think that's unexpected.
All of them will have to be replaced.
That coil itself is about $2,500 to $3,000. It'll cost another $1,000 or so to install that coil and get everything back.
But the cost for cold repair maintenance doesn't stop there. A water pipe burst at Herban Metz Education Center, and students at the Academy at Lincoln are wearing coats to lunch because the cafeteria hasn't had heat all this week.
Wow.
Many parents were upset that they were hearing of the heat issues for the first time.
She just said it was cold in there, but I mean, I sent her to school appropriately, so, but yeah, I think the school definitely should inform the parents.
We need to know what's going on inside the school.
Greason says restoring heat to classrooms is the first priority, and staff is working overtime in the end. All the problems will cost up to $100,000 to fix. And all of those schools that had the bursting corals problems, those are being fixed today. In another 6 weeks, they'll be getting in a shipment for the permanent repairs. But I want to reiterate, those 11 schools did not have heat problems, but those bursting corals, that's a large expense. Now, Greason admits to me that they have an emergency fund for these types of problems, but says that these repairs could definitely affect the school board budget. We're live in Greensboro. I'm Jasmine Spencer, Fox 8 News.
Jasmine, thank you. And with so many families looking for ways to stay warm during these cold winter nights, Allied Churches will open its doors again tonight. The group's offering a warm place to stay for families in Alamance County who may not have heat in their homes. Shelters open right now on North Fisher Street in Burlington. Registrations open until 7:30 tonight. You will need to bring your ID and your own sleeping bag and blanket. A meal will be provided for you by the community kitchen. For more information, just call the number here on your screen, 336-229-0881. That's 229-0881.
Well, with the new year comes new challenges for the city of Greensboro. The city now needs a new city manager as Denise Turner Roth heads to Washington. She has been chosen by President Obama to be the deputy administrator of the U.S. General Services Administration. Now, while it's a big job, Roth told Fox 8's Brad Jones this morning that she's really excited about the new position.
It's the opportunity to take what I love about government, which is improving how we deliver services to a much higher level. And for someone who's been in government and politics for about 20 years now, that's an awesome place to be at.
And last night, the council appointed Jim Westmoreland as deputy city manager effective February 1st.
New details tonight about the University of North Carolina at Greensboro's plans to build a new controversial recreation center off West Lee Street. The university says it does plan to move forward with building this $91 million facility. A letter was sent to those who spoke out against the center at a hearing last month. In it, the Board of Trustees chairman says the university considered all concerns before making a final decision. Now, there are concerns about the negative impact the center could have on the Glenwood community nearby, along with concerns about UNCG's financial stability after taking on such a big project.
People who live in Burlington will have to wait a little longer on a decision to expand the city council. Last night, a hearing was held to discuss adding new council seats. According to the Burlington Times-News, only 4 people spoke on the possible expansion and 3 of them were in favor of it. Some council members feel the change is necessary to bring Burlington in line with other similar cities that have larger councils. No word on when council will vote on that expansion.
Well, as we get closer to the next deadline to sign up for coverage under the Affordable Care Act, Piedmont Group hopes to help you with any questions or concerns you may have about signing up. In fact, tomorrow there will be an Affordable Care Enrollment Workshop in Greensboro scheduled to happen at the Women's Resource Center on Summit Avenue. The session begins at 10 o'clock. If you have any questions or plan to attend this workshop, you can call 275-6090. That's 275-6090. January 15th, the deadline to sign up for insurance on healthcare.gov to get coverage at the beginning of February.
All right, we had a little warm up today. We still saw the sun. Now get ready for some more clouds and some moisture. That system off the coast will bring the clouds tomorrow night and a chance of a little shower activity late tomorrow night and Friday. And the one out to the west, well, that's going to bring us our Saturday weather. But there is some good weather mixed in as well, and we'll have details coming up next.
And it's a sex education class in the Western Piedmont. Some parents say just goes too far.
But does it really cross the line? A look at the curriculum that's getting so much attention. You're watching the Piedmont News Station.